Today we will have a quick look at raw colour workflow and how different settings affect what you see and how your tools work within colour in Quantel Rio. In Quantel Rio you have multiple locations for setting colour space, either per clip or rush attributes in the import menu, conform menu, clip spin or timeline, or by render format, which affects how your tools will behave and the resultant rendered clip, and also the display device using SDI output. You also have an option on what processing method you wish to use, which will also affect your timeline. For example, source colour processing, float processing, both 16-bit half float and 32-bit full float. I have a number of clips on the timeline. All are exactly the same except for the way I've set the colour space. If you look in the clip spin, you can see the columns for colour space and transfer curve. Each clip has been set with a different colour space and a different transfer curve. For example, I have 709 with 2.2 gamma, then P3 with 2.6 gamma, and one clip that is set to raw with no transfer curve applied. First of all, let's look at those clips on the timeline, set with source colour processing. This is the same method of workflow in Quantel Rio running 2.1 or previously with IQ and Pablo. In these legacy products, you didn't have the ability to change colour space and transfer curve options. So while in source colour processing, I can mix all of the colour spaces on one timeline and each one of these segments will look the same on the output. If we look at the output settings and render format, you can see that the SDI out is set to raw and render is set to 709 2.2 gamma. The render is being bypassed and everything is output as raw. I can change the render format to anything and it will always behave as raw. The output will not change. Please note, if you have a DVE, a combine or transition, it will convert the files to the colour space set by the render format. Now let's look at float processing, either 16 or 32-bit. With the same shots on the timeline, the segments are now being converted to the render format of 709. So each file is applying a conversion except for the first shot that is already a 709 colour space. If I change the render format to raw and now step through the timeline, each file is again treated as raw. Thanks for watching.